Dr. Derek, please, on the stage, please. Thank you. Yeah, we have two mics now on the stage. Hello, hello. Thank you so much, guys, for being here. We are actually, this particular panel is to see what are the trends, what are the investment opportunities available in UAE, where UAE is going, and we will be just having a short introduction from our expert panels. Then we'll be having their advice as well. So, Mr. Derek, over to you. What do you do? If you can explain to me.
Yeah, I'm since 17 years in UAE, and I lived all around the world. I'm originally from Dutch Caribbean, and I'm an investor. Normally I do a small ticket size and do tech projects. My background is in many developments of real estate all around the world, including UAE, real estate like in Abu Dhabi and Dubai mainly, like for example Al Barari, and in the rest of the world is mainly Thailand, Southeast Asia and Europe, including Germany and Holland and Spain. And also public speaker sometimes, especially about metaverse and PropTech and virtual parallel twins and biometrics.
Thank you so much. Just to buy when there is blood on the street. So when the market is actually guessing this is the right time to buy, this is what I heard people normally believe in. Mr. Derek, over to you.
Yeah, for me it's like, first of all, I agree that Dubai is one of the markets to invest in, but also let's not forget about Southeast Asia, which are, for example, Thailand or Cambodia or Vietnam. And I see a huge potential there. And let's not forget, from February, all the Chinese will come back. So that will give a new boom also to Dubai and to Southeast Asia. And India is in the middle, so India will be a very interesting market. Of course, Africa is rather risky. Europe, in my opinion, will have a lot of problems for a long time. And I think that Dubai is the right place if you want to be in the Middle East. And let's not forget about Abu Dhabi, because it's also a good market if you look for, especially if you look for, if you sell, for example, to UAE nationals. It's a really good market, and there you have a lot of stable yields. But what is interesting, I believe that tokenization and blockchain and NFTs and everything what is tech related will be a lot here in UAE, and I think UAE is trying to head that, and it's going the right way. And then also on top of that, let's not forget about IoT, AI, behavioral learning, and biometrics. So these kinds of things which I personally invest in my time and my money to is like, for example, biometrics, voice control commands, behavioral learning, AI, access control, and IoT. And let's make Dubai from a smart city, which was the first goal, to a more conscious city, because Dubai is maturing. It's becoming a more mature market, because you will see a little bit less fluctuation than before, and you will see a more controlled market. And you will, because you see already, if you transfer now 1 unit, how much easier it is than before, since it's really going to be one of the main automated, seamless property markets in the world. And yes, be careful where you invest in Dubai, like in every market, or in Abu Dhabi. And yes, you can burn your hands here also, really easy. It happened to me also before. But just make the right choices and look long term. Don't only look for a quick yield and flip, and just look for the long yields. And there are some really good properties. I mean, for example, the properties I invested in the IFC were really treating me well. Other people had really good success, for example, on the Palm, if you talk residences. And I agree also there will be many more funds and REITs and people who will digitalize funds and also real estate funds. And of course other investments which we didn't talk about, like aluminium or whatever. But then we go too far, right?
Wonderful. Thank you so much. So I hear real estate, I hear technology, I hear metaverse. So let's see how many of people from the founders and companies, how many are from you from the real estate companies? How many of you? 1, 2, 3. One is 50-50. Blockchain, all right. Okay. How many of you are in tech? Wow. Okay. All right. This is interesting. Okay. And how many of you are from metaverse or blockchain? Okay, all right, very interesting. So now we have seen that tech is leading this hall, and we all see tech. So I will just need your advice here. We have so many brilliant founders here who are actually flying from other countries to Dubai and seeing what is the trend, where the world is going. So especially for these founders, regardless tech, regardless metaverse, regardless blockchain, regardless property, what do you advise them to put their money in, or how should they do business, or how should they raise funds?
Web3. Why? I mean, be prepared for Web3, virtual parallel twins, IoT, AI, behavioral learning. That is the key. Because it's not only about blockchain or crypto or all this stuff. This is just one small element in what's coming. It's about utility and it's about scalability. So if you invest in your company, make sure you're scalable. It's really important. Make sure you're not dependent on one product. Make sure you're diversified. Yeah? And then on top of that, if you want to raise funds, don't raise funds. Just make a good company, make a good team, make a good product, and make sure that you have not only good marketing and sales, all the investors will come to you by themselves.
Wonderful. So you advise people to focus on marketing and sales the most, and investment will follow?
No, I said focus most on your team. And on your product, and then, but if you do a product, it can also be, because I see a lot of people say they're in tech, it can also be too tech focused, and then it might not be scalable, for example. Yeah. So this is really important. You have to also look at the transition from Web 2 to Web 3. It's very complicated. You cannot do everything Web 3. You have to talk to the people who are a little bit older, who know the old business, and you have to have the people, the new ones, which are let's say, the programmers and the IT guys, or the ones who were in the last crypto boom or tech boom, right? You have to be really careful that you have to have a sustainable, long-term, and of course, ethical and moral, very correct business, and make sure that you also take really good care that you're really well regulated.
Wonderful. All right, thank you. Team. So team is the first word came from Dr. Derek. How many of you think that they have a strong team? Okay, wow, this is good. All right. Second one is, how many of you think they have the strong product? Many of you. All right, this is interesting. Next, Mr. Wali. Mr. Wali, over to you, please.
I do believe in, before you misunderstand, I do believe in technology. And we are involved, we are partners with Huawei, WeChat, MCC. So I come from a bit of technology. We are investing now in e-commerce. We are developing the first e-commerce that is between Dubai and Africa. But the bottom line is very simple. When you create a product, you need to have people who want that product. If I come up with, a lot of the startups, I see funky stuff that comes to the market.
Right.
Someone is creating this app. A lot of it is, they stay for 1 month to a year to 2 years, then. So always when you create a product, see who buys the product and the sustainability of that product. I'll give you an example. I'm in love with e-commerce. We have a platform, we have logistics, warehousing. We invest in the whole chain. I went to Africa, I realized It's 80-20 rule. 20 technology and 80 offline. I mean, 20 online and 80 offline. So what did I say? I said, okay, let's develop the interface, but the actual work, you guys take the sample or go to the customer and show him the sample, and if he doesn't have to pay, you collect the money there, you transfer. Yeah, but this is not e-commerce. I said, who cares about e-commerce? You are here to make money, you're not here to look good.
True. Absolutely.
The problem is we go beyond technology. If it doesn't service us, it's a burden. So always my advice to my brothers and sisters here, look at the product. I mean, we are now developing something in Egypt. When we calculated, we said, listen, if we click with 2%, I don't even need to come back here. Why? Because there is mass people, there is people who need the service. Technology service work.
In all the areas. What is your favorite?
100% respected with nature and consciousness. So not only helping people with money, but also helping with their mind, with their consciousness, their mental health. So you can create it by, for example, what I like is creating new destinations, which are conscious destinations, as I mentioned before, smart cities, converting into conscious cities. So that means that you have a real wellness. I mean, if people hear wellness, they think about spa, about meditation, but it's much more than that. It's also, for example, medical health or access to that medical. So I think that impact is for me really important, and then also integrating that with the things we have. We have our voice, we have our hand. So why not access with your hand? You don't need a wallet, you don't need a key, you don't need a credit card, you don't need nothing. You have already a body, right? You have a voice, right? With your voice in the metaverse, for example, or you can open the door, you can start your car, you don't need all these byproducts which are created. You can do it with your voice, with your hand, so you're respecting nature, you're helping nature, you don't produce all this stuff around. You're already given by nature all this stuff, your veins inside your hand, your print of your hand, your voice. And it's all unique, it only belongs to you. So you can throw away all the credit cards, all the keys, all the access controls, everything.
Wonderful. Yeah. Thank you so much. Panel, can we take some questions from the audience?
That's why we're here.
Right, so founders, this is an opportunity probably you have been waiting for, and I'll be inviting some of the people who are building the business. Probably they are also looking the investment as well, but building the business is the main thing. So whoever among you is building a business, 1 year, 2 year. Okay, all right. So I'll give you an opportunity. Can we, if maybe we don't have a mic, if you can just ask you a question if you are building your business. What is your biggest worry now? Yeah, please. Yeah. Yeah, you are audible, please. So you are the founder of the company? Okay, so and you are looking to how to choose the CEO. One second, I'll give you this mic.
Yeah, so it's my second startup. So what have I learned from my first startup? So I have been, very thoughtful before I implement a small stage, even also because it's my money what I earned saved from my first startup, put it in the second startup. I didn't raise a single penny from the market as of now. So everybody I choose has to give us 200% more. And also, I always consider the integrity from all the senior core team. The way I used to sit down with them in terms of their salaries so that the family doesn't suffer, I'll have to take care of that. So it was very interesting to understand, going to the personal level, also to make it happen for those. So today I'm having almost 72 people on board working for this company called Taka Healthcare. My attrition rate is less than 2% as of now. I'm just trying to build a company with the people for the people. Thank you.
I think you're already on the right path because you give the CEO really big importance. I think that the CEO should be having skills you don't have, which complement you. Because in the end, you're still the founder. But if you can see your own mistakes, it starts with yourself. You are the founder. So look what are your mistakes everybody has, or what are not your qualities. And find that in that person who is the new CEO of your company. Because then, together with him, you supporting him or the other way around, you can make something really successful. Because you see a lot of founders who keep hold of their company and say, oh, it's mine, oh, it's mine. And you see a lot of founders which are too much focused on tech, or too much focused on health, or too much focused on consciousness, or too much focused on something, right? So you need something. For example, if I start a new company, I really desperately need a CFO, right? That's, for example, one of my weaknesses, right? So I know what are my weaknesses. I think you rather know what your weaknesses are, because then you would never ask this question. So I think you're already on a great path, and I think you're doing already good in my feeling, at least.
Mr. Wali?
We are a healthcare IT company. We develop software for hospitals and clinics and all that. So my question is different from there would be an investment done for an idea that's on papers. So we have a lot of ideas, and then sometimes we get to have time. Sometimes we don't have time. But if somebody is really interested and they've got a good idea and it's on paper still, will there be an investor interested in getting that up and running or helping them to get that started? Is there anything that happened ever?
I need a big applause of this. I often have in my mind as well. Thank you so much for asking. I think a lot of people have this question as well. They have ideas on paper. So, Mr. Derek, what do you think? If the idea is on paper, is it investable?
No. Ideas on paper is not investable at all. It's about, again, about the human. The paper I don't even read when I invest. Seriously, I can throw it away. Honestly, I mean, I invest in the people, I invest in what they tell me, and then I let somebody else do some due diligence on them, and on the product, and on the company. So I throw the paper away, I don't even read it. Not even executive summary, maybe 5 lines, and that's it. I do look at the team paper, and then at the main people, right? And check out myself or through friends who they are. And sometimes I'm even did not do enough due diligence on that. It happened to me before too. But that, I think, is more important than having for example, let's take a white paper. For what? Sorry. I mean, it's you need to have a product which works, right? Proving the product first. Don't even for what?
Absolutely. Yeah, Mr. Wali. Mr. Derek, thank you so much, Mr. Wali. Thank you so much, Mr. Varis. Thank you so much. A round of applause, please. Thank you, please. Yeah, the photographer.